Have you ever noticed that each person, when they reach their limit of exhaustion, reacts in their own unique way? Some people suddenly become indifferent, as if nothing can touch them anymore. Some wander aimlessly, not because they don't know where to go, but because they're trying to escape themselves. Some clean the house nonstop, as if organizing the outside could somehow bring order to the chaos within. Each of these is a silent cry for help, a way for the soul to stretch out, if only just a little. The truth is, stress doesn't always look like tears or a trembling voice. Sometimes, it looks like a strange kind of normal. Like when you laugh too much, sleep too little, or reply to messages with cold, short answers, just because you're trying not to fall apart. And, strangely, those moments are when your truest self shows up, unpolished, unfiltered, no longer the expected version, but a human with raw, real emotions. Be gentle with yourself when you notice you're reacting, and because sometimes the truth isn't in what you say, but in what you can no longer hide. And that's the sign you're still trying, still living, and still worthy. Reactions reflect the inner self. Have you ever surprised yourself with how you acted under pressure? A harsh word you didn't mean to say, a burst of anger over something small, or walking out of a conversation because you couldn't take the pressure building inside. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means the deepest part of you is trying to speak through ways your logic can't control. Every reaction is a signal, a slightly opened door, revealing something inside you that hasn't healed yet. Maybe it's an old wound you never named, a fear of abandonment that goes way back, a pressure to be perfect because you believe that's the only way to be seen. So, when you react, don't rush to blame yourself. Take a step back and ask, what's hurting me so much that I'm reacting this way? Because sometimes, what you need isn't to control your emotions, but to understand them, not to be silent, but to listen to yourself with compassion. Only when you start to understand the reason behind your reactions can you begin reconnecting with your inner self, the part that doesn't need to be strong or perfect, just real. Stress isn't just pressure. It's a wake-up call. Are you okay? Sometimes, stress doesn't show up to break you. It shows up to make you pause, to ask, when was the last time I got enough sleep? When was the last time I laughed from the heart? When was the last time I did something just because I wanted to, not out of responsibility, pressure, or fear of judgment? We often mistake stress for the enemy, the thing that drains us, makes us moody, emotional, but really, it's more like a quiet friend knocking gently to say, you're going too fast. You've lost touch with yourself. Your body has its own wisdom. It knows when you're carrying too much. It knows when your soul is craving silence. And when it all becomes too much, stress is its way of saying, come back, breathe, listen. You don't have to fight stress off. Treat it like a sign that you deserve gentleness, care, a hug from yourself. Because sometimes, you don't need to beat stress with something big. You just need to begin with something small, listening to yourself and acknowledging, I need to be loved. How you react doesn't define who you are. We are often so harsh with ourselves. One harsh word said in exhaustion, one impatient glance, one moment of giving up. And we slap on labels like awful, not good enough, a disappointment. But you know what? One moment doesn't define your whole being. One reaction doesn't erase all the effort you've made. You are a mix of many things. All the times you held yourself together when you wanted to scream. All the mornings you got up, even when you had no energy. All the small things no one saw, but you still did because you're doing your best. So go easy on yourself. No one is perfect when they're tired, and you don't need to be perfect to be worthy. What matters isn't how many times you stumble. It's whether you choose to stand back up with a heart that understands itself better. Every time you forgive yourself, every time you face yourself without judgment, you move closer to real growth. And through that journey, please remember, you still deserve to be loved, even if you haven't yet learned how to love yourself. Look at your reactions like you would look at a friend. We often respond to ourselves like we're dealing with a stranger. When we feel anxious, we call ourselves weak. When we're scared, we say we're being irrational. When we're sad, we rush ourselves to get over it. But have you ever thought, what if that were your closest friend? If they cried from exhaustion, would you blame them? If they said, I don't know what to do anymore, would you force them to be strong right away? Probably not. You'd hold them. You'd listen. You'd say, it's okay. Feel what you need to feel. I'm here with you. So next time your heart feels like a tangled mess, don't try to fix it immediately. Place your hand on your chest, close your eyes, and whisper, what am I feeling? What do I need to feel a little lighter? Sometimes, healing doesn't start with answers, but with one moment where you pause and treat yourself kindly, because you deserve comfort, not just from others, but from the one person who's been with you all along. Yourself. You don't need to react right. You just need to react honestly. There's no perfect formula for how to deal with pain. Each person is a different emotional world. Some cry, some go silent, some get angry, some pretend everything's fine. None of it is wrong. We don't need to react correctly, according to someone else's standards. You don't need to explain why your hands shake when you're anxious. You don't need to calm down just because your emotions make someone else uncomfortable. Your feelings aren't wrong. They're your soul's honest response to something that's hurting you. So instead of trying to react perfectly, allow yourself to react sincerely, even if it's messy, even if it's different, as long as it's true. That truth, though not always pretty, is the first stepping stone to understanding yourself, caring for yourself, and healing. And in the end, what matters isn't how you broke down, but whether you had the courage to return to yourself, gently, bit by bit, learning to be there for yourself, the way you always wished someone would be there when you were most tired. Because sometimes, the most honest reaction is the one that keeps you whole. And if you're feeling stressed right now, if everything feels like a mess, like there's nowhere solid to stand, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and let yourself not be okay right away. It's okay if you're overwhelmed. It's okay if all you can do today is try to breathe through it. We often expect so much from ourselves. To be great, to be calm, to be positive, to bounce back quickly. But sometimes, what you really need is simply a safe space to slow down, to breathe, to not have to try so hard. You don't need to do everything well to deserve love. You don't need to explain why you're tired. As long as you're still here, still trying to listen to yourself, even for just a moment, you're already braver than you think. And if today you can't quite bring yourself to embrace who you are, let me remind you, you deserve to be treated with gentleness, even and especially by yourself.